Here with Readers to Leaders. Hi, this is Maple Bell here with Readers to Leaders, and I just started the Hangout Live on the internet, and I'm doing a live call at the same time. It's actually not too hard to do this. It took me about 20 minutes to set up. So I'm sorry again, I'm late for the call this weekend. Still getting in gear. It's supposed to be at 7 a.m. and right now it's 7:25 a.m. So I do apologize for being 25 minutes late for the call and for this live webcast of the call. And I'm just happy to say that I'm finally coming back to doing this. I stopped doing it for a few months, and last week I did it for the first time on the phone only. And this week I'm doing it finally live again on the internet and on the phone. So I'm excited to be back, and it's good for, I'm doing it for selfish reasons. It keeps me on track on my reading homework, and it's also a way to keep people who are doing their reading homework with me on track, because then they can join in or they can listen in later. And also, these calls really actually change the way that my brain works about money and finances and success in general. So I really think they're important, which is why I do them. And so thank you for joining in, whether you're live or on the replay. I really appreciate you coming on, and I hope this actually does help with your development too. All I do is read books and then follow the instructions. The book we're reading now has been kind of in depth, so it's been kind of taking me a while to get into it. Here it is. It's The Values Factor by Dr. John DeMartini. And today we're going to go right to the exercise in the chapter on growing your financial freedom. And this is the one about becoming, like, thinking like a billionaire. So he says that we sometimes we don't think of ourselves as being able to do things like become billionaires because we just don't see how we can do that. And sometimes we put blocks in our way. So we have an exercise here that you do to get rid of those blocks and become open to becoming a billionaire. So if you're interested in becoming a billionaire, this is the right call for you. If you're not interested in becoming a billionaire, this might help you get better with your money. So let's take a look. And I actually covered this in the call last week as well. However, I did not finish the exercise, so I wanted to finish the exercise this week. So let's see. It's called Own the Traits of the Financial Masters. So here's what you do. To become a financial master, you will likely find it empowering to discover that you already have within yourself the traits of every great or even legendary financier, entrepreneur, and wealth builder you may even admire. This exercise will help you identify and own these traits so you may play in a new field of financial possibilities. So that's the point, okay? So I picked three people. I picked Donald Trump, Warren Buffett, and Oprah Winfrey. Those are my three billionaires. You pick your three billionaires, okay? So I'm going to talk about my billionaires. So I worked on Warren Buffett last week, and I actually realized that I had some blocks against Warren Buffett, which were kind of funny. One of which was that I didn't feel like I didn't like that he invested in, Coca-Cola and junk food and brands that create, things like that. And then when I realized that, I was like, what do I have against that? What's wrong with making junk food? What's wrong with that industry? There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, sometimes I have junk food. I don't really drink Coke anymore. I used to when I was a kid, though, and there's nothing wrong with drinking Coke now and then. It's not a big deal. Only if you drink it all the time, it's unhealthy. However, if you do that with any food, it's unhealthy, right? If I ate only red peppers every day, I would become sick too. So, of course, junk food doesn't have good nutrients. We all know that. However, why be so against junk food? There's nothing that wrong with it. It's just something you eat sometimes for fun and tastes good, and whatever, So, I drank Coke when I did my Ironman. They were giving out decarbonated Coke, right? And it was great. So I had Coke then. That was years ago or something, 2 years ago, something like that. So, So I drank Coke, and I was riding around the island the following week, and my friend had Coke and he gave it to me and I drank it. So obviously, it has a need in the world. Iron Man athletes use it, So, and I realized I had the resistance to junk food and investing in companies that make junk food is like, okay, that's stupid because first of all, there's nothing really that wrong with junk food as long as you don't abuse it. And you could abuse anything, so it's the same, right? And it can be fun. Junk food can be fun. People do it for Halloween. They give it out. It's fun. and this aversion to junk food means you'll never actively invest in junk food, or you'll feel bad if you do, because I have a 401k that's a fund, it's just invested in a lot of different things. So I'm sure it's invested in Coca-Cola. It's invested in all the major companies. So now if I have a bad feeling against junk food, then I'm going to feel bad about my investments in junk food, which doesn't make sense, because if I'm investing in it, I should feel good about it, right? Feel good about what you do, right? So then I was like, okay, that's a block. So I started working on it and I realized that I had that block, and then I started feeling better about it. So it actually started making a difference right away. And I didn't even realize that it would. So what we have to do are 3 steps, okay? List the 3 most important financial masters that you know of, admire, or would love to play in the same field of financial possibility with. Okay, so I listed them already. Donald Trump, Warren Buffett, Oprah Winfrey. Research everything you can discover about these 3 individuals. Then list 5 traits you admire most and 5 traits you dislike most about each. Okay. So usually the admiring is easy. It's the disliking that I find difficult. So let's take a look. I have my iPad here. I'm very technically geared up. I got an iPhone here recording the call. I got a computer doing my Hangout, and I got an iPad so I can research on the internet while I'm talking to you. Well, actually, I can research on the internet on the Hangout and show you too. That is also what I can do actually. So why don't we just do that, and then you can see with me on the internet. If not, I'll just read it to you on the phone. So let's see. I'm going to share my screen. Oh, and if you I should probably put this out. Let's see. Share. Okay, share screen. Okay, so right now I'm sharing. This is actually my blog where I'm broadcasting live this call right now, which is at candoitblog.com/readers to leaders, and that's capital R, capital T, capital L. So if you ever want to catch a replay, you can always go to this webpage and you can see a replay at candoitblog.com/readers to leaders. There's also going to be blog posts that have all the old calls, so you can check that out as well if you want to go back and see one that I did before. And I already have some of them in here already from before when I was doing this before. Okay, so besides the and actually it's kind of cool. So you can play this and you'll see me, and I think that's kind of fun just to test it too. So there you go. And I am talking. That's pretty cool. I'm live. Okay. All right. I'm getting out of here. We're going to go to Google and we're going to look up Oprah Winfrey, okay? I'm going to focus on Oprah Winfrey right now. I'm going to join Suicide Squad to play this comic book character. No idea. Okay, so let's go. I know they have a biography. We're going to biography.com. We're going to read about Oprah Winfrey. Okay, so billionaire Oprah Winfrey is best known for hosting her own internationally popular talk show from 1986 to 2011. She's also an actress, philanthropist, publisher, and producer. Okay. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, so media giant Oprah Winfrey was born in the rural town of Kosciuszko, Mississippi, on January 29, 1954. In 1976, Winfrey moved to Baltimore, where she hosted a hit television chat show, People Are Talking. Afterwards, she was recruited by a Chicago TV station to host her own morning show. She later became the host of her own wildly popular program, The Oprah Winfrey Show, which aired for 25 seasons from 1986 to 2011. That same year, Winfrey launched her own TV network, The Oprah Winfrey Network. And then they have pictures here. This is one of 11. Oprah Winfrey Photo Gallery. Oprah Winfrey is tucking her way into millions of homes in America by 1986, after taking over the AM Chicago talk show in 1984. She now looks back on her fashion sense and muses, "As for my clothes, I was still figuring out what is my style." Oprah Winfrey Photo Gallery. Oprah Winfrey's waistline gets smaller and her hair gets bigger as the 80s roll on. And that's just a picture of her. Oprah Winfrey Photo Gallery. Oprah Winfrey loses 67 pounds with a liquid diet in 1988, but slowly starts to gain weight back. In 1989, Winfrey has regained about 17 pounds already. Yeah, I'm talking about her weight. Funny. That's a big thing with Oprah Winfrey, though. 6 and 1. Oprah Winfrey Photo Gallery. Oprah Winfrey has the highest rated talk show in the country and is reaching her highest weight, 237 pounds, in 1992. Oprah Winfrey Photo Gallery, 7 of 11. Oprah Winfrey tones down her makeup, hair, and weight in just a few years while her popular ratings continue to rise. Oprah Winfrey Photo Gallery. Oprah Winfrey manages to keep the weight off in 1997 with not just diet but exercise and a healthier lifestyle. Winfrey's trainer Bob Green credited for helping her maintain her weight, and her personal chef Rosie Daly both published best-selling books. Winfrey turns 50 in 2004, feeling better than ever, she said, and looking more confident, glamorous than ever, with her own talk show, television station, magazine, Broadway play, and the ability to launch books and careers. She's also the wealthiest and one of the most influential women in America. 10 of 11. Oprah Winfrey Photo Gallery. Oprah has overcome with joy when some of Hollywood's biggest stars surprised her at her farewell event. The surprise Oprah farewell spectacular event took place just days before the successful daytime talk show host taped her final show. Oh, wow, she's got like Tom Cruise there, Will Smith. She's got a lot of people. Can you see that? Okay. 11. Oprah Winfrey Photo Gallery. Oprah continues to play an instrumental role on and off camera. On July 1, 2011, she launched the Oprah Winfrey Network, which airs the series Behind the Scenes, giving viewers an exclusive look at the making of Oprah's talk show. Okay, so I just went through their photo album here. And then Oprah's beginnings. Now, if you're on the phone, obviously you're not able to see this photo album. However, you can only look at photos of Oprah Winfrey on the internet at any time. She's all over the place. Oprah's beginnings. American television host, actress, producer, philanthropist, and entrepreneur Oprah Gail Winfrey was born on January 29, 1954 in Kosciuszko, Mississippi. After a troubled adolescence in a small farming community where she was sexually abused by a number of male relatives and friends of her mother, Ernita, she moved to Nashville to live with her father, Vernon, a barber and a businessman. She entered Tennessee State University in 1971 and began working in radio and television broadcasting in Nashville. In 1976, Oprah Winfrey moved to Baltimore, Maryland, where she hosted the TV chat show People Are Talking. The show became a hit, and Winfrey stayed with it for 8 years, after which she was recruited for a Chicago TV station to host her own morning show, AM Chicago. Her major competitor in the time slot was Phil Donahue. Within several months, Winfrey's open, warm-hearted personal style had won her 100,000 more viewers than Donahue, and had taken her show from last place to first in the ratings. Her success led to nationwide fame and a role in Steven Spielberg's 1985 film The Color Purple, for which she was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. Winfrey launched The Oprah Winfrey Show in 1986 as a nationally syndicated program with its placement on 120 channels and an audience of 10 million people. The show grossed 125 million by the end of its first year, of which Winfrey received $30 million. So she received $30 million her first year of doing that TV show as her first paycheck. She soon gained ownership of the program from ABC, drawing it under the control of her new production company, Harpo Productions, Oprah spelled backwards, and making more and more money from syndication. Okay, so let's keep going. Success and fame. In 1994, with talk shows becoming increasingly trashy and exploitative, Winfrey pledged to keep her show free of tabloid topics. Although ratings initially fell, she earned the respect of reviewers and was soon rewarded with an upsurge in popularity. Her projects with Harpo have included the highly rated 1989 TV miniseries The Women of Brewster Place, which she also starred in. Winfrey also signed a multi-picture contract with Disney. The initial project, 1998's Beloved, based on Pulitzer Prize-winning novel by Toni Morrison and starring Winfrey and Danny Glover, got mixed reviews and generally failed to live up to expectations. Winfrey, who became almost as well known for her weight loss efforts as for her talk show, yeah, we could tell it from the photos, lost an estimated 90 pounds, dropping to her ideal weight of around 150 pounds, and competed in the Marine Corps Marathon in Washington, D.C. in 1995. In the wake of her highly publicized success, Winfrey's personal chef, Rosie Daly, and trainer Bob Green both published best-selling books. The media giant contributed immensely to the publishing world by launching her Oprah's Book Club as part of her talk show. The program propelled many unknown authors to the top of the bestseller list and gave pleasure reading a new kind of popular prominence. The debut of 1999 of Oxygen Media, the company she co-founded that is dedicated to producing cable and internet programs for women, Winfrey ensured her place in the forefront of the media industry and is one of the most popular, powerful, and wealthy people in show business. In 2002, she concluded a deal with the network to air a primetime complement to her syndicated talk show. Her highly successful monthly O, the Oprah magazine, debuted in 2000, and in 2004 she signed a new contract to continue the Oprah Winfrey Show through the 2010-2011 season. Now syndicated, the show is seen on nearly 212 U.S. stations and more than 100 countries worldwide. The Oprah Winfrey Network. In 2009, Oprah Winfrey announced that she would be ending her program when her contract with ABC ended in 2011. Soon after, she moved to her own network, the Oprah Winfrey Network, a joint venture with Discovery Communications. So wait, I want to see. What did she do in 2002? She made a deal with the network to air a primetime complement to her show, and her magazine debuted in 2000. And in 2004, she continued the Oprah Winfrey Show through the 2010-2011. Okay. And the show is syndicated, so now it's seen on all these different television stations, and it's in more than 100 countries. I see. So she spread her show around. Okay. I'm not exactly sure how you syndicate shows. Okay. So, the Oprah Winfrey Network. In 2009, Oprah Winfrey announced that she would be ending her program when her contract with ABC ended in 2011. Soon after, she moved to her own network, the Oprah Winfrey Network, a joint venture with Discovery Communications. Despite a financially rocky start, the network made headlines in January of 2013 when it aired an interview between Winfrey and Lance Armstrong, the American cyclist and seven-time Tour de France winner, who was stripped of his tour titles in 2012 due to doping charges. During the interview, Armstrong admitted to using performance-enhancing substances throughout his cycling career, including the hormones cortisone, testosterone, and erythropoietin, EPO. Hormones, okay. Dude, interesting. Okay, I guess you're not allowed to take hormones. It's so interesting, because, I thought we were, I don't know, I guess if you're doing sports, you're not allowed to take stuff like that. Because in general, I've heard that hormone therapy is good. then handheld and stuff. I am deeply flawed and I'm paying for the price of it. This is Armstrong talking. And I think that's okay. I deserve it, he stated. The interview reportedly brought in millions of dollars in revenue to the Oprah Winfrey Network. Fascinating. Well, her interview with Armstrong, Winfrey said in a statement, he did not complete in the manner I expected. It was surprising to me. I would say that for myself, my team, all of us in the room, we were mesmerized by some of his answers. I felt he was thorough, he was serious, he certainly prepared himself for the moment. I would say he met the moment. At the end of it, we were both pretty exhausted. Interesting. So I guess she makes money from these shows because she can sell the replay rights on other stations when people want to replay it on their station, so they purchase the right to do that, and that's how she makes the money. That's what I'm assuming. Activism and charity. According to Forbes magazine, Oprah was the richest African American of the 20th century and the world's only black billionaire for 3 years running. Life magazine hailed her as the most influential woman of her generation. In 2005, Businessweek named her the greatest black philanthropist in American history. Oprah's Angel Network has raised more than $51 million for charitable programs, including girls' education in South Africa and relief to the victims of Hurricane Katrina. Winfrey is a dedicated activist for children's rights. In 1994, President Clinton signed a bill into law that Winfrey had proposed to Congress, creating a nationwide database of convicted child abusers. I didn't realize she did that. So, there's a database in the United States where you can go there and you can put in a name, and if they're a convicted child abuser, they're going to show up on that list. So it keeps track of that stuff. She founded the Family for Better Lives Foundation and also contributes to her alma mater, Tennessee State University. In September of 2002, Oprah was named the first recipient of the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences Bob Hope Humanitarian Award. Winfrey campaigned for Democratic presidential hopeful Barack Obama in December 2007, attracting largest crowds of the primary season to that point. Winfrey joined Obama for a series of rallies in the early primary caucus states of Iowa, New Hampshire, and South Carolina. It was the first time Winfrey had ever campaigned for a political candidate. The biggest event was at the University of South Carolina football stadium, where 29,000 supporters attended the rally. It had been switched from an 18,000-seat basketball arena to satisfy public demand. So it was a football stadium. Wow, that's funny. So they didn't have enough room in the basketball arena, so they had to change to a football stadium to fit everybody. That's funny. Dr. Martin Luther King dreamed the dream. We don't have to dream the dream anymore, Oprah told the crowd. We get to vote that dream into reality by supporting a man who knows not just who we are, but who we can be. However, Winfrey's political inertia was unclear, because Obama won Iowa and South Carolina, however he lost New Hampshire. However, she has a clear track record of turning unknown authors into blockbuster bestsellers when she mentions their books on her program. After the Oprah Winfrey Show ended on September 9, 2011, Oprah has remained in the rapidly shifting and converging media field through Oprah Winfrey Network, which launched on January 1st, 2011. In her final season of her talk show, Oprah made ratings soar when she revealed a family secret. She has a half-sister named Patricia. Oprah's mother gave birth to a baby girl in 1963. At the time, wait a minute. I'm like reading and not listening. Wait. So she has a half-sister named Patricia. And Oprah's mother gave birth to a baby girl in 1963. At the time, Oprah was 9 years old and living with her father. Okay. So Lee put the child up for adoption because she believed that she wouldn't be able to get off public assistance if she had another child to take care of. So Patricia lived in a series of foster homes until she was 7. Wow, that sucks. Maybe not. Maybe not. I should stop saying that. My husband says that everyone, has circumstances in their life, and I should not judge it. So I will not judge that. Although it seems kind of a rough childhood. Patricia tried to connect with her first mother through her adoption agency after she became an adult. Lee did not want to meet her. After doing some research, she forced a niece of Winfrey's, and the two had DNA tests done which proved they were related. Winfrey only learned of her sister's existence a few months before she made the decision to publicize the knowledge. "That was one of the biggest surprises of my life," Winfrey said on her show. In November 2013, Winfrey received the nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Barack Obama gave her this award for her contributions to her country. That's cool. In 1992, Winfrey has been engaged to Stedman Graham, public relations executive. The couple lives in Chicago, and Winfrey also has homes in Monticello, California, Rolling Prairie, Indiana, and Telluride, Colorado. Okay, so she's a wealthy lady. So she lives in Chicago, and Stedman Graham. Now I'm all curious. I want to know what Stedman Graham looks like. Okay, my baby boy has awoken and he's saying, ah, here boy. Okay. Yes, Jordan. Okay, so let's take a look. I'm just gonna Google Stedman Graham because I think I want to know what he looks like. So, typical girl, right? Stedman Graham. There he is. Yes. Excuse me. Oh, I've seen this guy before. He looks familiar. So here's some pictures of him. Excuse me. So we've got pictures of Stedman Graham. This is Oprah's boyfriend, Beyonce guy. Have you seen him? Oh, you know who he is? I've never really figured it out. Now I know. They've been together a long time. Interesting. Okay, anyway, so I'm gonna stop looking at stuff. So now comes the big question. Oh yeah, there he is. He's at it's loud here in the morning sometimes. Okay, so anyway, now that voice told her. Okay, so those guys again. Okay, that's cool. Alright, so step 2, research everything you can discover about these 3 individuals. Then list the 5 traits you admire most and the 5 traits you dislike most about you. This is the part where I was kind of weak on, and if you do too, I completely understand, because here, I'm going to come back live on this hangout, and then for those of you on the phone, just keep listening to me. All I'm doing is I'm making it so people can see my face. So anyway, the research part, that's the part that stopped me from doing this exercise for a long time, because it takes work, like I just read that biography, and that's not everything I can find out about them, right? Like I could be researching them forever on the internet, and so I kind of let it stop me, because I was like, research everything I know, oh my god, it takes forever. So then I just didn't do it at all, and then I never did this exercise. So it's the last exercise I'm doing in this entire chapter, and it's just because I just, that whole thing. So I was like, you know what, whatever, I'm just going to research the best I can and do the best I can. If I don't, I'll never do it, and that's stupid, right? So you gotta do it. So this is what I'm going to do now. So I did some research. I didn't research everything I know about her, that's a lot. I know more about her now than I did before. That's for sure. So 5 traits I admire most about Oprah Winfrey and 5 traits that I dislike most about Oprah Winfrey. Okay, so excuse me. Okay, let's take a look. 5 traits most I like and 5 traits most I dislike. This is the part that's kind of, if you see what if you're watching this live, you just saw the head of my son walk behind me. So cute. I love him. So cute. Oh, I want to play with him, so I gotta finish 6 fast so I can stop. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll open up a Word document and then we can do this together. If you're on the Hangout, and if not, I'll just talk through it. So if you have a piece of paper, you can go through this exercise with me. You know, you can do it for your billionaire. You can do it for Winfrey too if you want. You know, do whatever you want. I'm going to go to a new blank document. I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, so share screen. I'm going to share a blank Word document. That's exciting, yeah. So Oprah Winfrey. And actually I met one of her cousins, what's that, our gym. Although I haven't seen him in a while, so maybe he doesn't work there anymore. However, anyway, let's take a look. So Oprah Winfrey and 5 traits I admire most. So what are the 5 traits I admire most about Oprah Winfrey? Well, I admire that she is confident. She's very confident, you know. She is a great businesswoman. She's a smart, great businesswoman, you know. She's good at doing business. And then she is she's really passionate. She's really into what she does. Like she has, I see she's passionate about what she does, about her values and her goals. You know, like the presidency and supporting Obama and all them. She is she's very confident, great businesswoman, passionate, relevant goals. She is resilient. She's also like opinionated. Yes, dear. Can you my puppy again? Yes. Now you have kids and you're with them all the time. You're so cute. You're so cute. Yes. Yes, darling. This is my little darling with the pepper. So usually I do these, well, actually not so. I used to do these calls when I only have a phone. Like last week, I do it in my car when I know I don't get distracted. However, oh, you know, I could do this hangout in my car. Because I think I do have Wi-Fi in my car because they're parked near the house. So maybe I'll do that next time. Right, anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's another trait I admire about her? That she's a woman. Oh. Yeah, she's like a woman. No, I'm a woman. Well, maybe that is a good one. Okay, she's a woman. 5 traits I dislike. Weight loss issues. I don't know if that's a trait I dislike. I mean, a lot of women have weight loss issues. Weight loss issues. What do I dislike about Oprah? Oh no, I've seen her show. I guess I'm not really. I guess I don't watch that much TV, so maybe that I don't really am that into her show. Not into television. So for me, it's like I didn't even watch. I watched her show for the first time I think about 6 or 7 years ago, and I only watched it for I only watched like maybe 5 shows, and that's because somebody I knew was watching. So I watched it with him, actually, the guy, and I thought it was good. I was like, oh, this show is good. Not good enough for me to watch on a regular basis. However, since it was on, I would watch it. I thought, oh, wow, interesting. And then she gives away things to the audience. She gives away stuff. Sometimes like a lot of stuff, like expensive stuff, whatever. If she has someone showing how to do something, she'll give it away to the audience. She'll buy it and give it. So that was interesting. What do I dislike about Oprah? Oh, weight loss issues. Not into television. She's into television, so she's a television, I guess, related to on television, and I'm not into. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Good. 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 Yeah. Okay. And then what else is going on here? We got one. So this is the part that I always have difficulty with because it's like, what do I not like about people? And then it's like I have to think really hard. Do you not like anything about Oprah, Jamal? Winfrey? Something about Oprah you don't like? Reflective of the true self. Physical self. Why? You mean physical self? She always says. Oh, you mean like about health, how much she's overweight, kind of thing? She touches up her picture. Everybody touches up their pictures on a magazine and television. What do they do? Okay, so maybe something related to that though. She does have a lot of topics where she talks about health and wellness, and she has like this doctor who she made this guru, and yet she has ways to the message. Through it with message and personal lifestyle. Although she does a lot of, a lot of stuff she shows she does do. I saw one show and she said I forgot what she was promoting. I think I saw a show where she was talking about this lady who created microfinancing in third world countries. That was a really interesting show because I'd never seen that before, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I like her topics. I think the topics she talks about are really cutting edge and what people are really interested in. You know what I mean? I don't know. She's on television. She has weight issues. She's in congruent meshes with, since she talks about maybe health stuff. With her message and personal lifestyle. Message on health and personal lifestyle. You don't want to walk, I guess. People said that she gained weight. She had better ratings because when she was overweight, she had better ratings and then she lost weight. I have no idea if that's true or not. I've heard that though. Let's see. I don't know. I don't really dislike her. I like Oprah. I don't know. I guess this is always the part where I get stuck. Okay, enough stuff. I don't think of anything. See, this is the part where I should probably look at the negative stuff they have in here and see what I can find out there. Look at a few things. Okay. reasons you should take Oprah Winfrey. Billionaire Oprah stabbed American bag in the back. Shamelessly dealt the race and said nothing several times. The good and the bad, Oprah effect. Oprah, sorry for negative media attention from Switzerland. Interesting. Okay, Oprah ripped by former co-star. Giving us bad medicine. Dubious medical practices. Leadership Academy for Girls. Okay, so let's look at that one real quick. Here's Oprah giving us bad medicine. By giving a platform to disciples of dubious medical practices, a well-intentioned Oprah Winfrey has made herself a force for ill, writes the latest doctor alarmed by the Oprahfication of medicine. Here's the perfect face to put on the problem, at least supporters of science-based medicine face, writes Dr. David Korski. He says Oprah uses her influence in aid of what can only be characterized as dubious medical therapies at best and quakery at worst. We've all speculated about why the anti-scientific, emotion-based notion that vaccines somehow must cause autism persists in spite of mountains of evidence to the contrary. I think the question goes much deeper than that. The anti-vaccine movement is but one of the most visible components of a much deeper problem in our public discourse. A problem that values feelings and personal experience over evidence. Well, anyway, I'm going to stop sharing this screen and I'm going to share a new screen that I'm looking at right now. Okay. So what's going on here is I'm referring to the Oprahfication of medicine. Why Oprah, you may ask. I'm happy to tell you. Oprah Winfrey has been the host of the highest rated syndicated talk show in television history. She has developed a media empire that few single individuals can match or beat. Clearly, she's talented and savvy TV host and businesswoman. Yes, very. Fortunately, Oprah displays as close to no critical thinking skills when it comes to science and medicine that I've ever seen, and uses the vast influence her TV show and media empire give her in order to subject the world to her special brand of mystical New Age thinking and beliefs in various forms of what can only be characterized as dubious medical therapies at best and quaker at worst. Naturally, Oprah doesn't see it that way, and likely no one could ever convince her of the malign effect she has on the national, well, it's a big word, zeitgeist, with respect to science and medicine. Consequently, whether fair or unfair, she represents the perfect face to put on the problem when we supporters of science-based medicine face when trying to get the message out to the average reader about unscientific medical practice. And that's why I'm referring to this Oprahfication. Over the years, Oprah has promoted a wide variety of pseudoscience and mysticism on her show. Indeed, last week, Newsweek ran a long article entitled Live Your Best Life Ever, Wishing Away Cancer, Get a Lunchtime Facelift, Eradicate Autism, Turn Back the Clock, Thin Your Thighs, Cure Menopause, Furnish Positive Energy, Erase Wrinkles, Banish Obesity, Live Your Best Life Ever. Reveals just how forcefully Oprah and her credulous belief in New Age nonsense are reflected in her show. Starts with the example of Suzanne Summers, who on January appeared on Oprah to talk about what she does to stay young. And Newsweek Story quoting reported, each morning the 62-year-old actress and self-help author rubs a potent estrogen cream on the skin of her arm. She smears progesterone on her other arm 2 weeks a month, and once a day she just injects estrogen to replace her progesterone. Okay. The article continues. The idea is to use these unregulated bioidentical hormones to restore her levels to what they were when she was in her 30s, thus fooling her body into thinking she's a younger woman. It is noted that Summers claims the hormones synthesized from plants are naturally risk-free. Newsweek's writer rightly takes issue with the last point. Summers told Oprah that every day she takes some 60 vitamin pills, 40 supplements in the morning, 20 before going to bed. She begins the day with injections of B12 and human growth hormone, whereas nanotechnology patches to help her sleep. weight and promote overall detoxification. If you're drinking wine to boost your liver by taking vitamin C intravenously. Oh my god. Zora has chelation therapy to clean her blood if she breathes cigarette smoke. The actress makes remarkable claims for hormone ability to aid the human body. I know I look like some kind of freak and fanatic, she is quoted saying, but I want to be there until I'm under 10 and I'm going to do what I have to do to get there. By Newsweek's account, that was apparently good enough for over many people write Suzanne off as a carpenter, she said. She just might be a pioneer. Oprah's show gave doctors and several chances to respond, but they were in the audience while Summers news report sat on stage with Oprah. Who defended her. Or is quoted saying, Suzanne swears by bioidenticals and refuses to be quiet. I've known for a while that Summers promotes so-called bioidentical hormones. I've also realized that it is the height of stupidity for a woman who has survived breast cancer to pump herself full of estrogen in a futile genetic quest to claim her lost youth. It's just begging for recurrence of her breast cancer. Summers epitomizes the cliché of I'd rather be lucky than good. Either that or her cancer was estrogen receptor negative, but even in that case, she's definitely pushing her luck to dating a bioidentical estrogen. Oprah reported Newsweek told her audience that she found Summers' best-selling books on bioidentical hormones fascinating, said every woman should read what she has to say. She didn't stop there. Oprah said that although she had never had a hot flash after reading Summers, she decided to go on bioidenticals herself. After a one-day on bioidentical estrogen, I felt the lip, she wrote. For 3 days, the sky was bluer, my brain was no longer fuzzy, my memory was sharper. I was literally singing and had a skip in my step. On the show, Oprah had her own word of warning on the medical side. We have the right to demand a better quality of life for ourselves, she said, and that's what doctors have to learn to start respecting. That statement epitomizes the attitude and themes of the Oprah show when it comes to medical issues and science. Anecdotes trump science, and scientists should respect pseudoscience because of the feelings and desire for a quality of life. Indeed, these are exactly the attitudes that permeate the complementary and alternative care movement and the anti-vaccine movement. And Summers says it's mainstream medicine that doesn't have the facts. The problem is that our medical schools do not teach this. She's quoted saying in February interview in Newsweek. It's reported that Summers believes doctors, scientists, and the media are all in the pocket of the pharmaceutical industry and that millions are spent on marketing drugs and companies also support academic research. Without such conflict, Summers can see things clearly. I've spent thousands of hours on this. I've written 18 books on health. I know my stuff. No, Summers does not know her stuff. Writing books is no guarantee that she knows her stuff, particularly given that she clearly does not understand science and cherry-picks references to support her viewpoint, ignoring those that do not. Summers also thinks her self-taught knowledge trumps the understanding of scientists who have dedicated their lives to studying such questions deeply. The absolute worst of Oprah's proteges is Subway spokesmodel for the anti-vaccine movement, Jenny McCarthy. Beginning in the fall of 2007, McCarthy, characterized as having warrior spirit and as a warrior mom, has been a regular guest at Oprah, where she's been given more or less free rein to spread her gospel of vaccines causing autism and her claim that biomedical quackery can cure and recover autistic children. McCarthy's promotion of anti-vaccine propaganda and suicide is quite simply so egregious, such a threat to public health, that even Oprah-friendly Oprah-intimidating media has become alarmed. Reporters have tried to get a statement from Oprah from an article on a recent TV documentary, The Oprah Effect. Asked if Oprah, her show, endorses McCarthy's view, representative for Oprah's program said, "We don't take decisions on the opinions of our guests. Rather, we offer a platform for guests to share their first-person stories, an effort to inform the audience and put a human face on topics relevant to them." When McCarthy's views have been discussed on the air, statements from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the American Academy of Pediatrics saying that there's no scientific evidence of vaccine autism have been read. In the Newsweek cover story, she declined to be interviewed for this article, but in a statement she said, "The guests we feature often share their first-person stories in an effort to inform the audience and put a human face on topics relevant to them. I've been saying for years that people are responsible for their actions and their own well-being. I believe my viewers understand the medical information presented on the show is just that information, not an endorsement or prescription. Rather, my intention is for our viewers to take the information, engage in a dialogue with their medical practitioners about what may be right for them. In words, Oprah washes her hands of responsibility for spreading misinformation about the guise of trusting our audience to be able to distinguish good advice from bad advice. Apparently matters not that McCarthy's claims are based on her belief in autism, quackery, and anti-vaccine pseudoscience. All that matters is that, by her own narrative, McCarthy has triumphed over the odds for the sake of her son. A compelling personal story of empowerment, just from science, and the only balance the world feels compelled to provide. The dry statement from the CDC and AAP, philosopher and ethicist, not to mention blogger Janet Semel asks, is it acceptable to give any guest who pleases soapbox without taking a position on the opinion of a voice from that soapbox? Is reading official statements from the CDC and AAP enough balance to Jenny McCarthy's views on vaccines? And if Oprah and her producers are aware of the Oprah effect, which really they have to be, right? Should that awareness of their reach lead them to try to meet a higher ethical standard as far as the foreseeable consequence for giving Jenny McCarthy soapbox? Oh, these are good questions. They're good questions, I have two answers to those questions. My answer is in an ideal world, and my answer is in the real world. In an ideal world, my answer would be no, simply reading an official statement from the CDC and AAP as balanced with Jenny McCarthy's idiotic and dangerous views on vaccines, which have led her to a know-nothing activism based on the arrogance of ignorance that is already eroding faith in vaccines. She uses an emotion and her son to argue falsely that vaccines cause autism and that various quackery cured him, and by inference can cure other children with autism too. Reading a dry statement from the CDC is utterly useless in combating this message. It is nothing more than what I like to say, token skeptic who trots out the skeptical viewpoint briefly in a formulaic method. Balance, after all, implies that there is enough scientific validity to a view that it is somewhere on the same planet with science. There is no balance between Jenny McCarthy and scientists. Jenny McCarthy is quite simply completely wrong about vaccines and autism. Balance is a sham used to promoters of pseudoscience and quackery claim legitimacy when they don't deserve. In the real world, unfortunately, my answer would be this. If it gets ratings, it interests Oprah. If it fits into her apparent spiritual worldview, it's all good to her. If it fits in with the alternative medical beliefs of her audience, she likes it. If it provides a message of empowerment, whether real or not, it is good. Bottom line is that when it comes to medicine and science, she is a force for ill. Her intentions may be the best in the world. That is only why she is living embodiment of the cliche that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. That is especially true when the same road is also paved with no mental filter of critical thinking to keep out nonsense. With great power comes great responsibility indeed. Unfortunately, given the infiltration of quackery into academic medicine, I'm having a hard time determining if Oprah is a symptom or one of the causes of the rise of pseudoscience and quackery over science-based medicine. Interesting. I guess to get a full view of people, you gotta kind of read their critics too. So, what is that? I mean, I just read a whole article. I don't know if that was interesting to you. However, to me, it basically said that Oprah promoted these two people on her show that started these movements in the United States, or maybe strengthened movements in the United States, and they don't believe. I mean, I like vaccines personally because vaccines prevent disease epidemics. So to me, I like them. I have my son have vaccines. I didn't see the show, so I don't know what the show said about vaccines. So, apparently, it said that vaccines cause autism, which doesn't really make sense because that means every kid in the United States would be autistic because most kids have vaccines. So that doesn't make sense. However, apparently, I guess that's what the show said, and I guess that woman had a very compelling story. I didn't see the story, so I don't know. I'm sure it was very compelling though, because Oprah always puts compelling stuff on her shows. So And I guess it started when people wouldn't take vaccines. And the other one was that if you do these hormone therapies, it'll make you feel better or something like that. And I heard about hormone therapy from Tom Gray actually as well. He talked about hormone therapy. I don't do it, however, I've heard about it. And maybe when I become really popular, that statement will change the world. Just like Oprah's doings change the world. So I guess Oprah has a lot of power. Is really what's going on, and the way that she does her topics on her show is also like more into things that viewers would be interested in, like alternative things that are what your doctor tells you already, because you already heard that from your doctor. So she's looking into other things like that, and I guess that makes this doctor or this person, David Gorski, upset. So he wrote this article. Interesting. Okay, let's take a look at these 10 good reasons you should hate Oprah. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right, never mind that one. So, okay, sometimes going on the web gives you really strange things. I really don't hate Oprah. I still like her. Yeah, she's a very powerful person. I don't know. Okay, so moving back, I'm gonna stop screen sharing now. Okay, I'm actually gonna end this call. I'm really sorry. I guess this call is basically all about Oprah, which wasn't exactly my intention. I wanted to do this exercise, however, I have to go because my baby's awake and I gotta go take care of him. So, I'll resume this call next week Saturday and we'll just continue on. What we're doing is we're learning about billionaires, and we're gonna do this exercise. And this exercise is actually just almost, I think it's just as challenging as the last one I did, where I answered 6 questions about, well, this book can be very intimidating to say. I'm not someone who gives up easily. The Values Factor by Dr. Johnny Martini, this book was recommended by someone influential to me to read. More than Oprah. Okay, anyway, so I'm reading it and I'm doing these exercises, and I feel like if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to finish it. And this book has like exercises that they take a lot of time. However, I'm doing them because they seem like they're useful, because learning about billionaires isn't going to hurt, right? And then also doing these exercises I think is beneficial. However, sometimes they take a long time to do. Now, this reading group, it started out with me reading The Way of a Peaceful Warrior, which was just reading and talking about it, how I felt. This book, you actually have to do it. So it's like work, which I guess is why it does reprogram your brain, because you do this work and your brain changes. Anyway, I'll see you next week Saturday, and hopefully we can get this exercise more down so we can get moving. And what you can do for your homework is figure out who your billionaires are, research them, find out what you like, don't like about them, write those traits down so you can get started with the next part of the exercise. Okay, have a great week. Aloha.